Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The truth about testing. Dr. McGeorge is here to talk everything from swab shortages to why one test per person just isn't going to cut it.
We're going to begin, though, with a chaotic day, both inside and outside the State House in Lansing. Protesters demanding the state open back up for business as legislators say they are going to let the state of emergency expire at midnight.
Some of those protesters even managed to get inside the gallery of the House chamber, some of them with guns.
So let's get right to Rod Maloney here as we come to you at 5 o'clock. Rod is live in Lansing. The legislature basically acted by not acting here, Rod.
Right. It was a busy day, Devin. They did a lot, but the one thing they didn't do was the one thing the governor wanted them to do, which was to extend the deadline. The rally started about 9 a.m., and even in a driving rain, it remained loud and sometimes angry. Yes, there were gun-toting protesters mingling among them. That happens fairly regularly here. The main theme, of course, was to demand the governor loosen the stay-at-home order and also wanted the legislature's ear. Heather Carr of Troy wants to end the working from home.
It seems to be overreaching, and I think that the statistics have shown that the curve is now going down, and we need to make some concessions at this point and let people go back to work.
Then the protest moved indoors, protesters wanting to get onto the House floor. Michigan State Police and House Sergeant-at-Arms blocked the doors. The House went about its business, approved Senate bills limiting the governor's emergency powers. She says she's going to veto. Then the House codified executive orders that were already in place into law, preventing any disruptions, but adjourned without taking up the extension. House Speaker Lee Chatfield says the next stop may be a courtroom.
We believe the law is very clear on this, and that's why every extension since 1976 has come through legislative approval, because that's what the law requires. We followed the law today. We want to partner with the governor next week. We don't want this to have to go to court, but should she reject our invitation, that's where we're going.
So the House has gone home for the weekend. Many of the protesters have gone too, but the Senate remains in session. They've been behind closed doors most of the afternoon. We've been told to expect a statement from a very angry Senate Majority Leader, Shirkey, but he hasn't spoken yet. So we're waiting to hear that, and we'll certainly bring that to you at 6 o'clock if it comes before then. So that's the way it's been out here today. Back to you.
We getting any word from the governor's office yesterday, Rod?
Devin, no. I've reached out to them a number of times today, and I suspect that she's probably going to say what she has to say tomorrow. She's been doing her press conferences usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
right,
and we're expecting that she'll say something tomorrow, but so far today, we've heard nothing.
Yeah, and yesterday she basically made it clear she didn't think she needed any legislative approval. We'll see what she has to say tomorrow. All right, Rod. Kim.
Amid a chaotic day in Lansing, let's take a look at today's numbers.
Yeah, in the last 24 hours, 980 people have been diagnosed with coronavirus, and 119 more Michiganders have died from it.
And no place in Michigan has been hit harder than the city of Detroit, and the Detroit Police Department has felt the effects. Today, Chief James Craig said more than 1,000 members have been quarantined over the past several weeks. Not all have tested positive.
There's 69 members who are positive COVID-19. But throughout the testing, there's been a grand total of 299, almost 300 of our members who tested positive.
For the first time since this outbreak began, the chief says fewer than 100 members of the department are being quarantined.
We continue to hear that one of the most important elements to reopening is increased testing for the virus.
Yet many viewers have emailed with questions and concerns about issues with testing. Dr. Frank McGeorge is live to explain what some of the limits and problems are. Doc?
Yeah, Kim and Devin, so first off, let's define testing. Right now, we are talking about swab testing of the back of the nose to find virus particles that are being shed by someone with an active infection. Now, I've discussed blood testing for antibodies, which looks for prior infection before. It is not ready for widespread use, but swab testing also has challenges. Swabbing the back of the nose to collect a sample sounds simple enough, but the first thing you need is a swab. For the test to work, the swabs have to be specially made. They cannot contain cotton, wood, or any organic components. And the problem is there's a shortage of these fancy Q-tips. The supply has not met the demand, which has already left many communities scrambling. For the test to be valid, a good sample needs to be collected, and the lab or machine it's processed in also needs to be accurate. Now, an issue many people have identified is that the swab tests can only tell if a person is shedding virus at the time it's done. For example, if a swab is done after a person is exposed, but before the infection has developed, basically during the incubation window, the test may be negative, but the person will go on to develop an infection. Now, this doesn't mean testing is pointless, though. Knowing who might be an asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic spreader is critical, and certainly knowing if someone is positive is essential. But it's just as important to understand the limitations of the test. It's only sampling a single point in time, which is also why, even with widespread testing, the use of masks, hand washing, and social distancing will not go away. Yeah, and relative to the issue of swab shortages, there are ongoing research studies, including at my own hospital, Henry Ford, to evaluate how well a saliva sample might be a substitute. Prior research has found, though, that the most accurate results are from samples that are taken deep behind the nose, but as tests become more sensitive, other samples might actually prove to be adequate.
Yeah, well, Dr. McGeorge, what about the effectiveness of other back-to-work screenings, like the temperature checks and the questions that they ask about your symptoms?
Well, you know, that's just it. No single item is perfect. People can have COVID-19 without a fever or have it with minimum symptoms only. But hopefully, between virus testing and the employer screening questions before work, we can catch as many cases as possible and then add the extra layer of masks, hygiene, and distancing to really decrease possible transmission even further. That's the key to going back to work.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. Thanks, Doc. Well, let's turn now to the weather and the second day in a row of rain.
Yeah, let's head to Ben's place and see what we've got coming and go as we go into it tonight, Ben, and the weekend. Getting closer to that, too.
Yeah, this is the worst part of the forecast, guys. If we can get through this, it's all gravy from here, which actually sounds good since it's dinner time. But let's take a look at the showers right now on 4 Live radar. North and west zone is mainly where we see those as we speak. And the northern end of that starting to get a little bit more active up there in parts of Sanilac and St. Clair counties. There's a little bit more instability, some slightly warmer temperatures up there. So those downpours may be coming down pretty good in a couple spots, and they're not moving all that fast either. Although, having said that, I think most of us are going to get by with less than a quarter inch of rain here. And these are going to really start to dry out once the sun goes down tonight. We'll talk about some milder temperatures for Friday through the weekend. And wait till you see those numbers for Saturday and Sunday. It's all coming up in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. Troubling news on the economic front today. More than 30 million Americans have now filed new unemployment claims since this crisis began. While on the public health front, new hope for progress on a vaccine. Let's get to Alice Barr, who's got the latest from Washington. Alice?
Devin, experts agree a vaccine is the key to solving both the public health and financial crises from coronavirus. Today, the White House revealing how it's racing to find one. As coronavirus sweeps across the country, there is a massive undertaking to counter it just as quickly. Operation Warp Speed, a public-private partnership aimed at developing a vaccine in record time.
You know who's in charge of it? Honestly, I am. I'll tell you, I'm really in charge of it.
Top health official Dr. Anthony Fauci is part of the team and says research is in the early trial stages. But if all goes well, a vaccine could be ready for distribution by January.
We want to go quickly, but we want to make sure it's safe and it's effective. I think that is doable.
Dr. Fauci also warning states not to move too quickly to open their economies. White House social distancing guidelines expire tonight, and 25 states will be in some phase of reopening by tomorrow.
You can't just leap over things and get into a situation where you're really tempting a rebound. That's the thing I get concerned about.
New unemployment numbers out today show another 3.8 million Americans filed first-time jobless claims last week, bringing the 6-week total to more than 30 million new claims, though the actual number is likely much higher as overwhelmed unemployment offices struggle to keep up.
I have tried unemployment, I have tried the SBA loan, and unfortunately, none of those things have panned out as of yet.
Experts believe unemployment will finally begin to level off as states reopen.
We came into this period of unemployment by a very different path than, say, in the Great Recession, and we'll go out by a different path.
Optimism from Washington as the country faces an uncertain future.
In one hopeful sign, the Navy hospital ship, the USNS Comfort, left New York City today 1 month after it was sent to relieve stress on hospitals during the height of the pandemic. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Okay, Alice, on Wall Street, stocks finishing the last day of trading of this month down in the red. The Dow falling 288 points today. S&P 500 and the NASDAQ both closed down nearly a percentage point on the day.
Well, it turns out the real Slim Shady did stand up, and he did it fast.
What police say happened when Eminem found this guy in his house. Karen.
What is it like being a Detroit paramedic during this pandemic?
The decontamination process of the ambulance, and it's just taking longer for these calls to clean up.
2 paramedics, both who had COVID-19 and recovered. Heroes, survivors, opening up to the defenders. Coming up.
Ford Motor Company unveiling its safety plan for workers for when plants like this one for the F-150 finally reopen. But what's the plan look like? What's the timeline? What does the UAW have to say about it?